Big Walt, going back to your career, buddy, I was always, ever since I met you, I was just curious about, you leave BU and you go right to the heart of Canada, Winnipeg, playing in that old barn. I mean, listen, I used to love going into Winnipeg on the road, and we joke about going to Earl's and having beers all day, but, like, I was ready to get out of there. Like, first of all, how great was that old barn? I played it in my first year in the American League, and did you embrace Winnipeg when you were there?
Yeah, I mean, I got to play in the NHL. I mean, I didn't know, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know much about, that part of Canada. But I know they love hockey. I know it's cold up there, but I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. They took me in and treated me well. And, I look back at it, it seems like so long ago, but I enjoyed it. My wife's family's from there. So, it's nice for the boys to go back there and visit their grandfather. But, it was a really, really awesome place. Craig Heisinger works for that team. He's one of my closest friends, and you wish them the best, but the fans deserve a team there for sure.
Yeah, that old rink, though, like we were talking about the Boston Garden, like that old rink was right on top of you with, I think, a picture of the Queen at the one end, and the upper level feel like they were hanging right over top. It must have been unbelievable playing in the NHL.
It was. Randy Gillen used to try to put the puck all the way up there to hit that thing. So, yeah, I mean, they was buzzing during the playoffs with the whiteout for sure. I don't know if the infrastructure there could have lasted any longer, but it was a unique building for sure.
And Big Walt, I wanted to ask you, at that time you had played 6, 7, 8 years, or whatever it was, in Winnipeg to start your career. Obviously got off on a great foot, a beloved fan favorite there. But when you traded the mink fur coat jacket in for a pair of sandals down in AZ, was it a blessing in disguise, or were you sad leaving Winnipeg? Obviously your wife and her family is from there. Was it, was it a sad time, or were you excited to get down to the desert?
Well, when you went down to Arizona, I mean, I will say this about Winnipeg, though. Winnipeg, as a team, you're all connected. You're all there. You do a lot of stuff with the families, and you have some good times. Obviously, now you go down. It happened so fast, by the way. Not as fast as Phoenix or Arizona going to Utah, but we knew in advance that it was going to happen. They flew us down there during All-Star break, and when you walk out and you're staying at the Phoenician, and then you're wearing flip-flops and an ability to play some golf. It was pretty special. We had some good teams down there too, but but it was a tough transition, but also the people in Arizona have embraced us, and it was sad for the people in Winnipeg, and that's why I'm glad eventually a team went back there.
You guys had great teams. I remember watching you when you played downtown in the downtown arena. I know it was set up for basketball, much like Utah, but I remember the whiteouts. I remember you and Ronet. I mean, you guys had some good fucking teams, and those whiteouts there were just as intense as Winnipeg almost, eh, Big Walt?
Yeah, it was great down there. We had teams that made the playoffs every year. The place was packed. They love hockey. You had a lot of transplants from Minnesota, Michigan, a lot of people, and from Western Canada. So they love their hockey. Sometimes when you played Detroit or Chicago, you felt like you were an away team, but it was pretty cool. We had great players there, and Shane, Doan, JR, Teppo. We had Mike Gartner down there. We had some successful teams. It's just, whatever happens. But then, you move on.
Yeah, that's okay. Jay Swish is going to bring a team back, right? Jay Swish, you already got the moving parts for it, don't you, fella?
Yeah, let me see if I can call my guy at the Live Golf Tour. Maybe he can fund us some oil money or just an ACHA wire and get it over here. So, but Big Walt, I wanted to ask you, I mean, you played with legends. JR, you mentioned, Teppo Nieminen, and as well as the real Rocket, Tocchet. Where were you guys living down here? Because this is where I'm at right now in Scottsdale. Were you guys North Scottsdale? Were you?
Yeah, Northeast Scottsdale. All the rich guys like JR and Toc live in Paradise Valley, but I lived out in Northeast Scottsdale. It was awesome. They had a practice rink out there that was unbelievable. I don't know what they turned it into now, but it was pretty cool living out there. The travel was tough. When you're out west, you're on the road for 6 games, and but then you're fortunate to come home to have a bunch of games at home. But we all lived out in Northeast Scottsdale. I don't know where the guys live now, but you had everything out there you wanted. It was awesome. Waking up every day, wearing shorts to the rink, and guys like JR would have the motorcycle going to practice. But it was all new out there for hockey too. But not only we had to play on the ice, we had to do a lot of stuff off the ice to promote the game and promote the team, and that's where JR played a huge role. And I'm so happy JR got into the Hall of Fame. It's about time for him. He's a great man. I love that kid. He's a great teammate and a great player.
Yeah, I'm looking at your 97-98 team here, Big Walt. You scored 40 and you had 147 PIMs. JR had 100 PIMs, and the real Rocket Talkin had 157. But how nice must it have been for a guy like yourself to have Talks on that team with you? Because you could handle yourself, don't get me wrong, but when you know you got another guy like that can both play, can both put up numbers, and if you want to fuck around, we're right here, boys.
Yeah, Talk is a great leader. Talk it's just the little things for him. He's been around a long time and played a hard style, but he's a great leader. He didn't say a lot, but when he did, you listened, and you knew he always had your back. He was great around the net, and kind of, when you're playing and you're always doing that net front, it's like Scott Mellenby as well. Like when you finally get a chance to play with these guys, it feels refreshing knowing that you didn't have to go to the net every time. And back then, what it was like playing against the criminals like Pronger, Adam Foote, Gary and Hatcher. Those guys should be doing prison time for what they did. So it was nice to have knowing Talk had your back, and he had a great pair of hands around the net. He might have stole a few of JR and I's goals, but whatever, that happened.
Hey, well, it's funny you say that. I remember my rookie year watching Prongs in front of the net going, how is he getting away with this? Even in the old rules, I'm like, and I love Prongs, so I'm thinking, how is he getting away? He just gave that guy 5 cross checks.
Oh, yeah. He should be doing time. You know what? I always thought it's tough playing against them. I would take that because I had to play with them. And so you got to deal with that shit every day in practice. It was better when it was just 4 times a year, but now to do it every day in practice, I'm like, oh, no. But no, those guys played a hard style, and nowadays you touch a guy and you're probably going to get suspended.